We won't hear ourselves with that, will we?
Here we are.
Okay.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. It is 4 p.m. and we are here with our weekly Learning Curve Summit. I'm Jeanette, and today I have with me Shelly from
Cove. Van Husband Carriers, both. From somewhere around here.
Yes. Shelly is one of our directors of the board. So we are here today. Valerie and Lisa had prior commitments. So today you get to spend the afternoon with us. With us today, we have some local businesses that represent our tour industry and some of our local breweries and wineries. So what we're going to do is we're going to have them introduce themselves and talk a little bit about their businesses. We're going to start with our tour operators. So I would like to introduce you to Angie Johnson. She is the owner of Taste of Slow Walking Food Tours. Did I get that right?
You nailed it.
All right, Angie, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, hi everyone. I'm Angie. I'm originally from Minnesota and have lived out here in California for 7 years. I started Taste of Slow 4 years ago. Last month was my anniversary.
Wow.
Because I'm always hungry. So I have a long time experience in the food industry. And food tours are not something that I came up with by any means. They're all over the place, and I highly suggest you go on one if you get the chance. It's the best way to visit a new city and find out about the culture, the history, and the food scene. It's almost like a concierge service, if you will. So with my food tour, I offer two food tours in San Luis Obispo. One is my downtown and creamery tour. And then I also do an uptown mojo tour. Mojo for Monterey and Johnson cross streets.
Okay.
Cute.
And we visit anywhere between 5 to 7 different restaurants on the food tour. We eat a lot of food and we drink, we taste wine, beer, cocktails, and all the businesses that I take my guests to are mom and pop orientated. They're not the top 5 or maybe even the top 10 restaurants in Slow. They're a little bit off the beaten path. They're special. They're, the people who own the business that are there cooking, waiting on tables, and they love to share their stories. And also all the restaurants are all distinctly different from each other. Thai food, Peruvian, fresh baked goods, international wines, local beers. So it's a little bit of mix of everything. And we do this all on foot. So you kind of get a different perspective of the city when you're slowly walking through it, seeing things from the ground level that perhaps you may pass every day, but you never even stop to think about why is that there or what's the history behind that. So my tours kind of encase all of that.
Wonderful.
Fun.
And do you do those primarily on the weekends? What kind of schedule do you have?
Yep, primarily on the weekends. So on my website, tasteofslowwalkingfoodtour.com, there's a calendar on there. We offer tours on Fridays and Saturdays. And then also by private appointment too. So, especially with COVID happening, and if maybe someone in your family or friend group is COVID sensitive, or you just feel a little bit safer in a small group, we can also do private groups for groups of 4 or more any day of the week with enough advance notice.
Okay.
Fun.
Wonderful. And you just celebrated, you said your 4th anniversary. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That is awesome.
Just out here eating all the food.
Good for you. And there's so much good food out there to eat.
It really is. It's amazing. I just went down to Grover Beats Eats. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
What?
I want to say it's a parking lot in Grover Beach on Grand Avenue. And they're doing
behind Little Bits.
Yeah.
And it has all the trucks, the food trucks.
Yep. And yesterday I went there and there's a gentleman that has an ice cream truck and he hand makes all the ice cream with lactose-free milk.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Hey.
Yeah. So, I had a banana split yesterday and I felt good afterwards.
Nice. That is wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Angie. And the best way for them to get a hold of you, is it just to go to your website?
Yeah, on my website, tasteofslowwalkingfoodtour.com. It's kind of a mouthful. I'm Taste of Slow on Instagram and Facebook. And, my phone number is all over on the internet if anybody wants to call me, but I'm pretty easy to find. Not to be confused with Taste the Restaurant. I get a lot of calls for reservations.
Okay. Oh, yes. And so what we will do for all of you that are on the call today, If we don't during the episode, because we usually have some of our board putting information into our comments for us during this session. If not, at the end, we'll go in and make sure that we've tagged all of you and that we include your website. So if people are looking, always come back, look at the comments, and all of that information will be there. So awesome. Thank you so much, Angie.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes. And so next we're going to go with Mike from Slow Safe Ride. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead.
I was going to tell us about Slow Safe Ride.
I will. So as she alluded to, I am Mike. I'm one of the owners and co-founders of Slow Safe Ride. We are in our 10th year, which is kind of wild. And we pride ourselves on being the #1 service provider for weddings, wine tours, beer tours, distillery tours, and any sort of group transportation you might need. So obviously, given the context is tours, and so I'll talk about our wine, beer, and distillery tours. We started off as a smaller company working with, vans and mid-sized vehicles, and we've worked our way into a pretty eclectic fleet of now nicer limos and limo buses and Mercedes Sprinters, and we still have all of our economy vehicles as well. And it kind of gives us the ability to access any range of clientele who might be either local or visiting. And we really pride ourselves on our knowledge of the wine industry and our connection with wineries and breweries and distilleries. I think one of the things that we try and impart in each of our tours is that we want to go for like the Disney experience almost, I would call it, in which, someone who gets into our vehicle who has a concept of what a wine tour should be in terms of customer service and the amount of fun you're going to have and the way in which you're going to be taken care of will be blown away by what we provide. And that's not to say that anyone who is, working in the same space as us is doing a poor job. In fact, I think everyone who does wine tours around the area is great. It's just that we have worked really hard to make sure that, our drivers are great at, talking with all of the wineries you're going to beforehand, walking you in, making sure your wine is packed and put in the vehicle as you're leaving, making sure that any food reservations are called as you're on your way. And we really pride ourselves on our flexibility in our planning. That's kind of one of the things that I think people who don't go on tasting tours often, it's kind of a lot of work to put together. By the time you have to make reservations at all these wineries, time your itinerary correctly, make sure you're getting some food in there, and knowing what is available for all these things, it can be pretty intensive. And we like to always tell our customers, hey, just tell us what you like and we'll create a really good template and you can fine tune it from there. And, it makes the experience a lot better. So that's kind of the quick version of what Slow Safe Ride does. We also have a sister brand, which is Obsidian Luxury Services. And so hopefully if you guys are providing, links and feeds in the webinar, and you can go, it's obsidianluxuryservices.com. And then, we have slowsaferide.com as well. We're active on all social media. You can contact us on, either of the contact pages on our websites. And it's been really nice to see that the, ethos of exploring the Central Coast, I can't speak apparently, the ethos of exploring the Central Coast is still, really alive and well during this time. I think we're kind of lucky to be in a little bit of like a bubble where people care enough about making the experiences still worthwhile and not making it, too packed or like horrible from a, social climate right now. And so it's exciting to see what we're going to get into going forward. And I'm, happy to be on and talking about it. So thank you.
Great. Well, we are so happy that you joined us. And actually, when we're done talking with Sharon, I would like to get some of all of you on the panel, any input that you have on some local wineries and breweries and stuff. So I'll be asking you guys for some input in a minute. So next, I would like to introduce Sharon. And Sharon, What's the Rush Wine Tours, correct?
Yes, I'm Sharon Leard, owner and operator of What's the Rush Wine Tours. I've been in business for a little over 2 years now and licensed and insured. I have my transportation charter permit. I just have one van. So I'm the exact opposite of Slow Rides. I'm the small version of it. So I take 6 and under in groups. I don't take any groups larger than 6. And so I do give a very personal tour with a custom detailed for each group that I take. And I do everything from Paso Robles all the way down to Solvang. I also do transportation services more than just wine and beer tours. I take people up, used to before COVID, enjoyed taking people to Sea Chest. I enjoyed taking people to Hearst Castle and airport transportation, all of that. I do provide that. And actually, I was in a Zoom with Slow Ride, but I think it was the other gentleman, Noah, that we were signing up with Day Trip. And I was actually curious if you guys did sign up with Day Trip and how that's going. I was curious. So that's a question for Mike.
Yeah.
Still muted. So I don't think we ultimately pursued that, given kind of where we are in terms of COVID. Like, we're basically waiting before we're branching out on many more programs, but I'll keep you updated. I know that's something that's on our docket for sure.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I haven't really done, I mean, I signed up and did everything, but I've yet to get any business just because, you know, of COVID. So I have to give them a little bit of slack, but business is definitely starting to pick up. I've booked 3 tours today for the month of March. So yay. So it's starting to pick up.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's very awesome. Mike, I do have a question. Your service area, do you do SLO County, Santa Barbara?
Yeah, so that is another thing. We do service pretty much every county, both locally and all the way throughout the state and interstate. We have all those licenses. I mean, one of the things that we do that's not connected to the tourism as much is we're one of Cal Poly's leading provider. And so we do a lot of their trips, you know, down to LA and San Diego, and even for conferences out of state. And as such, I mean, we have kind of like headquarters or familiarity with a lot of these areas like Santa Ynez, Santa Barbara. We do, you know, our wine tours specifically are very heavy in Paso and Edna Valley. So pretty much anywhere you want to go, we are ready.
Wonderful.
Just give him money. He'll do it.
That's right. Get
I
in
mean,
that
I wasn't going to
cart,
say it
right.
overtly, but like, you know.
Well, and it was interesting because when I was doing some research to reach out to businesses, when your company came up as a company that does wine tours, because of the name, I never would have associated that. I thought that you guys did like more medical types of services. Don't ask me why. I did.
I just thought they picked up people from bars.
So,
I literally did think that. So now I know.
We started as a tipsy taxi, and you know, the evolution of this is well before Uber. You know, I was a senior at Cal Poly, and we started with 4 vans to try and help people get home safely from downtown. Wow. And at the time, the name was super fitting. And you know, we kept evolving and outgrowing the name in terms of our scope of service and just I think the level of expectation. You know, the branding, like you guys said, when you hear Slow Safe Ride, you go, oh, they're going to pick up drunk people. You know, I've heard that line a million times in my life. And so it's almost like this pain point for our marketing team now, because like we love what we represent and we love our brand as it is, but it, you know, a little bit it's kind of like not representative, which is actually why we started Obsidian Luxury Services. It's, you know, mostly the same fleet, mostly the same procedures. We have some nicer vehicles and our training standards are higher, but, you know, we just wanted to get a brand that people wouldn't go, oh, you're going to pick us up from the bars? And we'd be like, like so yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
That works. And then Sharon, what is the best way for people to find you?
They can find me at my webpage, what'sttherushwinetours.com, or they can call me directly at 805-710-0256. So, and I also have a Facebook page that's What's the Rush Wine Tours. So they can, I'm on Instagram, and I'll admit I'm not really well versed in the technological department. So I'm still struggling with, you know, Facebook and even Zoom and all that. I know how to drive really well, but as for modern technology.
And you know what? That's what matters.
I've had one of her tours. She doesn't remember me, but we had one of your tours when you first started.
Really?
We won an auction, and you took us and another couple around, and it was fabulous.
Oh, so you won the moose. Was it a moose?
It was through Shell Beach Elementary.
Oh, okay. All
yeah,
right.
it was awesome. We loved it. It was great. So
Well, awesome.
you were
I've done
fantastic.
a lot of tours, so forgive me for not remembering.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, and there's been COVID. So
That's right. So, good deal. Well, before we move on to our wineries and introduce, we actually have an in-house guest. I want to talk a little bit about some of the amazing breweries that are in the area. So actually, I'll put it out to the panel. Do you guys have a couple of breweries that are your just go-to place you like to be? I'll start with you, Mike. Oh, go ahead, Sharon.
Oh, well, I was just going to say that a lot of my Edna Valley tours, because the only food service really out in the Edna Valley area is Sexton. And if people want something different other than that, or oftentimes you'll have somebody who wants to try beer, I often will jump up to Slow Brew Rock. That is like one of my steady, solid. Oh, I've already booked one for the end of the month for that one. So yeah, that's a really, really, and they have the distillery too. So you can kind of make a lot of people happy by doing the wine, the beer, and the distillery too. So
it's fun.
That's awesome. We were just talking about Slow Brew Rock too. I didn't realize that they added that. Yes. And we have some of our visuals or some of their beers. Yes. Fun. So what else you guys do?
There, that's better. Now I can actually see you guys. There. Shoot. Like I said, I'm not good with technology.
You're getting it. You're doing it. You're fine.
That works.
I'm still holding the thing, so I can't really see it. I'm on my cell phone, so it's hard for me to see anything. So I apologize.
So
does anybody else have
anybody else? Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I know all of them. I only know a couple. So
if you're down in Coast Brewing, I'm kind of a sucker for their marketing. I love their Juice Box Hero and their peanut butter stout. But then I got to give a shout out to Slow Brew too for their beer that they just put out.
And I'm sorry, I didn't catch the very beginning. What was that first brewery?
Central Coast Brewing. I really like their marketing. If you've seen their peanut butter stout that they put out, it looked like a peanut butter jar.
I had that at Humdinger's and it was fantastic.
Really, really good beer too. Not only clever cans.
Humdinger's is another good brewery too. If you haven't tried it, it's in the Village in Aurora Grande Village. Highly recommend. Great food too.
I've heard that. Yeah.
I like
Oak and Otter.
Oak and Otter.
Oak and Otter. Yeah, that's another good one.
Is that in Slow?
It's in Slow. It's right by J. Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Off a Tank Farm. Yeah.
Okay. And Holly, you had something you wanted to add?
There's Man Rock down in
the best.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
And there's also 3 Stacks out in Morrow.
Yeah.
And if I can add one, there's Bittersweet. It's a dad and son that actually moved into the building where Man Rock originally started. And they're a little nano brewery, and they actually have some really, really good beers too. I hope they're still open after COVID. So,
and actually I have a little bit of information about them. So yes, we'll be talking about them for a second. So Mike, what do you got to give with or to share with us?
Well, I mean, we've named a lot of the good ones. I love Central Coast Brewing and I love Slow Brew Rock. You know, we work with them often, but Liquid Gravity is also super good. They're really good and local, and they host a lot of fun things. I mean, they partner with a lot of local restaurants. I think they do a great job, and their beer is ridiculous. So yeah, that'll be my.
Where are they located?
They're off Clarion, I think, in Slow. So it's like down off Orchid and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, they're awesome.
If you guys haven't made it out to Bang the Drum either.
That's what I was just going to say. Bang the Drum. Yeah.
Where did they move to? Because I noticed.
Where's their new location?
They are over behind, I think it's off Laurel. They're behind where like the climbing gym is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they didn't move too far from where they were.
No, they're not far.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, we were talking about breweries. You guys kind of hit on a lot of ones that we had. Actually, Bittersweet Brewing is also one of my favorites. The owners, it is a father and son who own it. They are still open right now. They're limited on their hours. They're located at 191 South Oak Park Drive, and they're basically right at the corner of Oak Park and Grand, back one little shopping center. So they're not right smack on the corner. If you go back, they're across from Vaughn's in the same little shopping area where Surfside Deli is.
Yep.
So, and right now they're open limited hours. So DJ is there on Thursdays and Fridays from 6 to 7. They're selling cans. And I actually,
Ooh.
Is that what those are? Oh God, they're so cute.
was just this one. Oh, this is their Amber Whale. So this is one of their ales, and they have cute, great little cans. He just did a stout. I don't know if he still has any more of it because he just released it. I think it was last month.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like he did a vanilla.
Batch.
He did a vanilla stout. So I'm not sure if he
Yeah.
still has any more. So I guess I'm gonna have to go see him when we're done here.
Yes.
And then on Saturdays it's open from 1 to 3. They are actually working on expanding. So hopefully when COVID is all over, they'll be able to open up a big improved tasting room. So
Jeanette, I have a question.
Oh.
yes.
Have you got the ring on the hook though?
Yes, I have. Once, only once. They have this game where you have to throw,
like
once.
the old circuses. I just know that because my grandma told me about
Yeah,
that, where
yeah.
you throw the ring and
Yeah.
you get a prize.
But my niece was there and her son was with us and was 10 at the time.
Yeah. Oh,
He nailed it like 3 times. We're just like,
yeah. Well, they're young.
They're young and I don't know. We overthink
And they're not
things.
drinking.
Guys, I hate to skip out on you because I really am enjoying this. This is really a lot of fun. But I do have a venue because I'm going to be a grandma. So I have to go look at a shower venue and I need to get going. But I did want to say thank you so much for inviting me, but I do need to skip out. And I'm not even sure how I even exit.
Down at the very bottom, if you hover down to the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a little red end button. Oh, you're on your phone. Oh,
I'm on my
phone.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Thank you guys. All right. Take care. Sorry.
She's gone. She's back. She's gone.
Oh, that's too funny. So we have Bittersweet. We also have Pismo Brewing Company, and they're here in downtown Pismo. Yeah. I'm not sure what their hours are right now. I know with COVID, they had kind of changed those, but they're here right in downtown Pismo on Cypress, right next to Hoagie's.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a great place if you're walking around downtown Pismo. Go in there. Somebody mentioned Humdinger, which is, I think, one of the newest breweries in the Aurora Grande area. Mm-hmm. It's right in the village. They're at 116 West Branch, and right when you first get to there. I've personally not been in.
They have food. I have to interject. They have great
food.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, their food is good, and it's right on Grand, so you can do great people watching. They have a patio within the building, so they have lots of seating with their outdoor parklet too. Yeah. Chef Spencer Johnson is the chef there, and he does well.
Yeah, I've heard amazing things about their food. So, and their beer is delicious too. So it's a win-win. So, and of course, one of the ones here locally in the AG area is Man Rock. So they've got that great location off of El Camino. I think it's 1750 El Camino. They're right there by AJ Spurs. So at El Camino and Oak Park. And they have that great outdoor space. They do those pizzas. Have you been?
Well, Trisha and our families meet up there. This has been our COVID date nights. And we have their awesome pork nachos. They're delish. And the pretzels.
Yeah.
You would balance it. She always gets a salad with it.
It is about the pretzels.
Right.
And, they just have some really, really great ones. So those 4 are ones that are just like here, really, really close, but you can never go wrong getting over to Avila, stopping in at Libertine, going into Slow, and you just have your choice of so many different great breweries. Yeah. So, and when you get to Paso, there's
there's the whole Tin City area and all that.
Yeah.
That's a whole,
So definitely, if you guys are out there and you're thinking, hey, I want to see all these great things, give Mike a call, give Sharon a call, and get those tours set up. And then when you're ready to eat some stuff and cruise around downtown slow, Angie is your contact person. So give her a call and do a walking food tour. So, and you have a little friend that comes
I just
with
saw
us.
that. Is that a cat or a dog?
It's
hi. Cute.
That's the mascot.
Oh, right. The one in the stroller. Yes.
Yes.
Doggles. Yes.
She's 17, so she doesn't walk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's so cute.
That's awesome.
So, and then I know that we have quite a few distilleries around this area. What can you guys tell me about the local distilleries? Or us, excuse me.
Yeah.
I mean, we already kind of tied in the distillery at Slow Brew Rock. They do a really great job. And incidentally, they actually brought the distiller from Opolo Vineyards down to work for them, and which has always been one of my favorites. You know, we do a lot of distillery tours up in Paso, which would include like Tin City, which has like refined, or you can even get up to like Crowbar or Wine Shine or any of the ones. I think Wine Shine is actually the one in Tin City now that I think about it. But it's becoming like more and more common for wineries or breweries to add on a distillery, because I don't think the licensing is too prohibitive, and people really like that change of pace, or they think they do, until they start a distillery tasting, and then like at the end of it, everyone's like, oh my God, what happened? That's always one of my favorite dynamics. People are super tepid coming in. They're like, oh, I'll try one. And no one tries one. That's never happened in the history of distillery tasting. And it's always like parents and grandparents, you know, that are like taking it easy on the wine portion, because they know how to meter that out. And then you just see people kind of like leaving a distillery and they're like, whoa. So
okay, that sounds awesome. I want to be like a fly on the wall and see that.
It's great.
Drunk parents are fun.
Yes. I know. I've been to Cowboys down there or up there in Paso Robles, and they do some really cool cocktails and stuff with their, I think gin might be one of their one of the leading alcohols that they do, but they do some really cool little cocktails with what they've got going on there.
Fun.
So
yeah,
that was a nice one. And then Holly, do you have any suggestions for us?
Castoro has, I believe it's called Bethel Road.
Okay.
Oh,
so it's another winery that opened up a brewery based, or I'm sorry, a distillery.
Okay, wonderful.
Up in Paso.
And there is a distillery that is in Grover, and they're not quite open yet. It's called Slow de Vai, and they do an aguardente and a grappa, which an aguardente is a Portuguese liqueur. They do a grappa, and I believe they do a gin.
Ooh.
So I talked to them earlier this week, and they were in the midst of trying to get reopened. Hopefully they'll be reopened early summer. But that's definitely another one. They do have a Facebook page. It's really interesting. It's a gentleman from, I believe, Germany, and a gentleman from Portugal, and completely different backgrounds. Wow. Huh. And they were doing, I guess, home kind of distilling. And I don't know if they were neighbors or how they met, but they got together and started.
They have to do a Schlager. If he's German, he needs to do like one of those like herbal Schlager, you know, the little shots that they do.
Yeah. I have no idea, but
I'll have to go suggest it.
Yeah. So I've heard really good things about their aguardentes. Okay. So that's
I've never tried one. What was the name of that distillery again?
Slow de Vai. It's SLODEVIE.
Thank you.
They're in Grover. You know what? They didn't have an address because they haven't gotten their tasting room open yet. Oh. So when I talked to him, he's like, you know, we can't have people coming over right now, but I know that they are distilling right now, and they're
somewhere. It's a secret location.
Yes. I will find it. So we've got that. So there's, in that arena between breweries and distilleries, there's so many different options, and pretty much you could probably find anything that you would like.
Yeah.
So
there's also another really tiny one in Osos called Foggy Bottom.
Oh, I saw that. Okay.
I have heard of that one. Yes.
I love that name.
That is cute.
So, okay. Foggy Bottom. We will add that to the list. So, well, Shelley, would you like to introduce our guest?
Yes. So our guest today is Trisha Kesselring from Peloton Wines, and I'm a little biased. She's one of my besties here, and I think her wine's fantastic. So come tell us about it.
It is. Mine's almost gone. Oh.
Just reach under the table. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all. I'm with Peloton Cellars, and we're kind of a grassroots winery that started about 20 years ago with my husband and his brother and two best friends who were hobby winemakers, growing wine grapes up in Northern California, and thought it would be fun to make wine too. So we've continued on with the tradition, and make all of our wines at the Stephen Ross facility. But our tasting room is in Avila Beach, right downtown, behind Blue Moon Restaurant. And we only produce about 1,000 cases a year, so really small, but we have lots of aromatic whites, Spanish varietals, Albarino. We also do a Pinot Grigio, a gorgeous Chardonnay, a couple different Pinot Noirs, Bordeaux blends, Petite Syrah, Grenache.
Wow.
Grenache Mourvèdre, a little bit of everything. It's kind of a one-stop shop.
Nice.
So we've had our tasting room there in Avalon a little over 9 years now. And it's kind of my home away from home. I'm there every day, Friday through Monday, 12 to 5 are our hours. Okay. And we're temporarily closed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Probably going to pick those back up in the spring as the COVID parameters lift more for wineries. But yeah, come see us.
Awesome. And your wines are very good because we've been
thank you.
We've been tasting. So, and this was the
you had our Pinot Noir from the Spanish Springs Vineyard, which is just like not a mile and a half from where we're sitting right now.
Oh, nice.
It's the most coastal vineyard in California.
Okay.
Gives us this really long growing season, so we can have full development of flavors, lots of complexity, higher acid levels for ageability, but also just a great mouthfeel. Beautiful wines.
Yes, it's very nice.
Yeah.
So
I just finished our very first rosé that we've bottled, and that is from a vineyard that is very close to our tasting room in Avila. It's called the Squire Canyon Vineyard, and it's beautiful. It's just, I think we bottled it 3 weeks ago and started selling it right away. So it's brand new.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. And then did you say where you're located at in
we're at 470 Front Street.
Okay.
In that cute little French style paseo right behind Blue Moon Restaurant.
Okay. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah.
So then I would now like to introduce Holly with Kelsey.
Yes. Kelsey's Peak Canyon Vineyards.
That's it.
So we are also a small family run winery. At this point, we have grown to close to 6,000 cases a year. And we have expanded from doing somewhere between 10 to 18 different wines to also doing cider products. Oh. So our original best sellers are the Golden and Red Delicious. These are co-fermentations of grape and apple juice. We do let them remain a little bit sweet. We leave some residual sugar there, but that's the product that brings everybody in. It's the most unique. And once upon a time, we used our own apples and grapes for the apple Chardonnay. So that's the Golden Delicious. And we are now doing a full-bodied dry cider called the 2 Fathoms. It is 12% alcohol, so it's a little bit more of a kick than most ciders. And we've introduced an 8% cider that drinks more like a seltzer as well. So we offer kind of a full spectrum. One of our current winemakers is really playing around with the cider program. So we hope to expand that more as the future goes on. We were hoping to do it last year, but COVID.
Yeah.
We released new products a year ago on Leap Day, and 2 weeks later we're shut down. So changed everything up a little. We are very grateful to have a beautiful space out here in Sea Canyon, which is just a few miles from Avila, about 8 to 10 miles from Pismo area, and 8 to 10 miles from Slow. And it's very secluded, but we have a nice amount of yard space for people to really kick back, relax, and enjoy. So
yes. And then are you doing tastings at this time by reservation? Nope. Or you're just you're open? Okay. You guys have a really I've been to your winery a couple of times, and you do have a really nice open grassy area.
And there's dogs.
So, yes.
There are dogs and peacocks.
I go for the dogs though. I would just
That's fair. That is fair. After you've worked here a while, you go for the dogs too. The birds are kind of like, okay.
The dogs could care less about the people, really. They're like, hey, what's up? Bye.
See, I always look for a cellar cat.
Yeah. Oh, I might have done that before too. Like, stay here.
Yeah. Oh, I've done that.
We are open daily, noon to 5, and we are offering wine by the glass bottle and doing full flights. Everything is tableside service.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Nice.
wonderful. Yep. And did you give us your actual address?
It is 1947 Sea Canyon Road in San Luis Obispo, technically.
Awesome. I'm looking to see if there's any questions.
Sure.
I hear all the time in our tasting room how beautiful your guys' site is and how
Thank
welcoming it is, and how much they enjoy to sit there around the Adirondack chairs and the tables, and a fire pit. Don't you have a fire pit too?
We do not at this time have a fire
this
pit.
time.
That would be very nice. We do have heaters, but we don't have a fire pit. I think it's been a concern with dogs.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also still we are fortunate enough to have the space that we are still open for families and guests to bring their own dogs as long as they're on leashes.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
We're strollers if your dog is friendly.
Exactly.
Hey guys, sorry I keep bouncing back and forth, but I actually have a situation I got to take care of right now. So sorry to cut it short. And thank you for having me on. It was really awesome.
Thank you very much for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy.
Take care.
Bye, Mike.
Awesome. Okay. So we have two of our local wineries that are here representing us, but let's talk about some other wineries that are kind of in the area.
We have a lot.
So oh my gosh, at one time there was only like 230. I mean, this was quite a few years ago. I think it was like 239, like in the Paso area. And I was set that I was going to go and I was going to visit every single one of them. And now there's just so many. It would
take you a couple of years if you did every day.
Yeah, because you can't go to more than 4 or 5 wineries, because after that point,
4 or 5, you go for 4 or 5.
Yeah,
I usually do
so
3
many.
or 4. 4 or 5's she's Portuguese.
I'm Portuguese. We like our wine.
But I'm Scottish.
2 or 3, and I'm dumping.
Yeah, you figure 4 or 5. But see, I'm a red person, so I usually just drink the red. So when they're doing unless I get to that 5th one and I'm like, sure, I'll take it all. Oh.
Right.
So, all right. So 3 or 4. Okay, I could do that. That'd be better. So, Holly, do you have some other wineries in the area that you would like to talk about?
Well, I have, of course, been to Peloton. I mean, I think anybody that's that close, typically we try to get to our neighbors at some point. The other Avila wineries are great. If you haven't made it out, hit all 3. If that's going to be your 3, do that in one go. Signer and Alape, the neighbors, they're great. Filipponi is another one that's close and really wonderful. And then if I am out in Edna Valley area, I try to make it to Chamsal. I actually enjoy their Chardonnays, and Chardonnay is not my favorite varietal. So, can you still hear me okay? Oh, yeah, you're making notes.
That's it. So, and Angie, what about you?
Well, so I guess the last winery that I went to, so I live in South County. And so the last winery I went to was Timbre in the Village.
Okay.
And that was my first time there, and it was delightful. Great service, great range of wines, nice patio in the front and in the back. So I really liked that. And then was recently at Peacock Cellars too, which is a really fun space too. I love that they have an integrated market with just the cutest things, but also fresh produce and eggs. So I thought their concept was really interesting, and I really enjoyed their great reds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that market is actually really nice. When they had their original location, they used to have kind of like an honor market. You would go and they would have all of the stuff by the gate. They'd have all the whatever fruits and vegetables they had, and they would have the price. And there was a little box that you would put your money in.
Okay, where is this? Because I really don't know.
Off Los Barros.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so kind of in the, what is that? What's that area called?
Mesa?
The Mesa. Yeah.
Or the Mesa.
The Mesa.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Just, out on a little back road in AG, cute little drive.
yeah.
And they have the best tomatoes. it's like they're homegrown tomatoes they greenhouse them. So there's year round, but they taste homegrown. And they have like the little tiny ones about like, what are those? The cherry tomatoes and the great big, like meat ones that you would put on like a burger. They are delicious.
Okay. And
Fresh
they do a really neat thing in the fall. They do scarred pumpkins.
Oh yeah.
So you can get these really cool decorated pumpkins if you get there ahead of time. And I don't know what the timing is, but you can actually order a pumpkin with a special message on it. Yeah. And they just look really, really cool. And I hear that it's a lot of work to get them there.
I didn't know.
Sure. But yeah, those are awesome. Yeah. So, and is there anything you want to share about some of the wineries there in Avila?
They're all fantastic. The Signer La Valley, I believe, is open every day. He's got a great outdoor patio. They've added cornhole. Not sure if they're using it right now with COVID, but they have some little outdoor activities that they're doing. And then Alape has utilized their little walkway as you enter off of First Street, and they're open every day. Nice. And then and then us and Kelsey, but yeah, everyone, there's a lot of new releases. A lot of people just released rosés, and I think here as we roll into spring, a lot more of the whites and some reds from the previous vintage are going to be rolling out. So it's a really fun time to go out wine tasting right now.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So Shelly, I know that you love Peloton wines, but
I
know that you're
I like
member
wine.
of a few.
I am.
So tell us about the wineries.
So the other place I'm a member at is Claiborne Churchill, and it's super easy because I live like on the other side of the hill. So I could just go right home from there. Like after a tasting, it's fantastic. Get in the hot tub and open another bottle. It's fantastic. But they are on, I'm still new here. I've only been here almost 6 years. So it's Edna Valley Road, and it's just right. It's
on 227.
Yep, 227.
Price in 227.
There you go. Yes. They're family owned. They've been around since 83. They are known for their whites, though, their Rieslings, their Gewürztraminers, and their Pinot Gris. But they really have some great Pinot Noirs, and they bring out a Syrah every once in a while. It's really great too.
Nice.
They're open daily 12 to 5, and they have on-site tastings with reservation. And they're pretty good about getting you in because it's a pretty big patio, right? You know, that whole outside area. So yeah.
Very COVID safe too. They've done an amazing job for those that want to be really careful. They have an amazing, the flight comes out on these adorable little boards with a carafe in your first glass, and then you self-dispense. They've done a great job.
It's nice.
Oh, that is nice.
Hopefully they'll bring back concerts. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
They will someday. It'll happen again someday.
Well, and they have concerts too. Sea Canyon has somebody out there playing music.
So I know it.
We did. We have used to.
Yeah. Used to. There's a lot of used to.
So because I know, and I don't know because we just went into the red tier, but I know prior to when we got put back again, venues were able to have live music with like a single person or possibly a duo. Have they rolled back into that yet? Do we know?
I think you're allowed to have it again.
I think with the red tier we can, but that's a big thing. I think.
Okay.
I think it is happening again too. I mean, at least we've been getting more calls. People are asking, and at this time, just with everything going on, we are not committing to that stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it's just getting reopened, and being able to open up a little bit more. There's so much. I don't think people realize how much work goes into that, regardless of what business you are. There's so much that goes into it. So that makes complete sense. So, and who else?
So there's Kinsey, and so is that considered Carbon Canyon? What is that considered? Carpenter Canyon. Corbett Canyon. See, I'm new. I don't know. I'm getting, they are family owned as well. They've been in the wine industry for over 30 years. They primarily make, they have a lot of it: Pinot Noir, Pinot Blanc, Chardonnay, and Syrah. And they also make unique red blends. And they've got a cute little patio out there too. It's all outdoors. They don't have any indoors at all. But they are open daily from 11 to 5. They are doing reservations though, and you have 75-minute reservations. So
okay.
I'm sure you could extend that if there was nobody there, but yeah. And it's groups of 6 or less, which means don't bring your kids because they count, or a non-drinker. Keep them home or keep them out in the car waiting for you.
Yeah. That's why you hire a tour service.
Exactly.
And they can stay with the vehicle.
That's exactly it.
That's it. Wonderful. So, and then we have just kind of looking at some of the membership that we have and some of the wineries that are members here of the chamber. One of them, of course, is Tally Vineyards. And everybody knows Tally Vineyards and Tally Farms. They have a beautiful, beautiful location there off of, is it Wasna? Is that what that is out there?
Lopez Drive.
It's Lopez Drive. That's right. Because it forks at some point. Yes. So they did send us a little bit of information about the history of their winery. And I thought it was really interesting. The family actually started farming in southern San Luis Obispo County in 1948.
Yeah.
Wow.
They've been here a really long time.
Yeah, they've been here for a long time. Their family-owned vineyard we talked about is located in Aurora Grande off of Lopez Lake Drive. And let's see, their goal is to produce estate bottled Chardonnays and Pinot Noir of uncompromising quality that reflect the unique characteristics of their 4 vineyards owned by the Tally Farm. And I think if any of you have been there, you know how wonderful and unique their wines are. They also have the Bishop's Peak label, I believe.
Yeah, they have. They have another label.
So they have some wines there. It's made by the same winemaking team, and with some of the grapes from the vineyards there at Tally. So one thing that I think, they have a beautiful, beautiful outdoor space, and in the summertime they have their farm stand.
Oh, right.
So,
yes, they do.
So they've got a great look. So a lot of times I've gone there to get vegetables.
Oh,
and I'll be like,
is that what you're calling it?
That's what I'm calling it.
It is grapes. You're not lying.
Well, yeah, you got to have some vegetables. So, but it's really so tranquil and just really beautiful out there.
The tour is actually fantastic too. So I went on the tour with Sharon.
Sharon? Yes. Sharon. Yeah.
That was our first stop, and they did this full tour and tasting, and it just has a lot of history, and it's just interesting to hear it because they didn't exactly make it in the beginning. So it's really interesting to hear how they evolved.
Yes.
So,
yes.
yeah.
So. And the original tasting room is still there, and they're going to start, they're under a remodel inside, redoing their tasting room. I think it's almost done. It's going to be gorgeous. And then they're taking the old original tasting room and they're going to utilize that for small event or parties or VIP or wine club.
And is that the little building when you first walk in? Okay. I was wondering what that was.
Before it was a tasting room, it was the like one of the farm working families lived in it.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I think that's interesting. I met the lady one time and she says like, I used to live in that house.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cute.
It would be interesting to see the photos from back then, especially the aerials that
they're in one of the rooms. They're on the walls. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. So so that's Tally Vineyards. And then we also have Wolf Vineyards, and they're on Orchid Road. So they're going to be along that same stretch where you'll find Chamisil. They're there. And then there's one other one that's out in that area.
Wolf has a beautiful Petite Syrah.
Oh, do they? It's been years since I've been out to Wolf. So
it's gorgeous.
Nice.
They also have a lot of fun dogs. If you guys are looking for those dog friendly places, we always tell people that if they're looking to bring their puppies, that's one of the best places to go.
Okay.
So take the dogs to Wolf.
Yeah.
So maybe Wolf instead of not the wolf, but Wolf like Wolf bark. So that works. So I believe that they're open from like 11 to 5. I'm not 100% sure if they require reservations. So I think
call.
At this point,
I do ask you to call ahead.
Okay.
Don't just show up.
Yeah. So we have some beautiful spaces out here, but definitely pick up the phone call, make a reservation, see what's going on, verify their hours, because some of the hours that people are currently having might change. They might increase their hours. So it's always great to do that. And then they also have there on Biddle Ranch Road is Sausalito Canyon. One of my favorite little wineries. I don't even know what their production is, but they have an old vine Zin that is just it's just my favorite.
Yeah.
But they've got a great outdoor grassy area. We would always go there, and that's when we would do our tours. That's where we would stop for lunch. So, and just enjoy. I mean, they've got just a really nice selection of reds and stuff. So, and I think I have one.
I believe have the oldest Zin vines in the county, if I remember correctly.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, because it's over 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I think my husband was just with Tom Grano out at that ranch this morning because he helps him with some of the farming.
Oh, that's too funny. And I think it's really cool how a lot of our winemakers and even our breweries and stuff, it's such a tight, close community.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I really love about that whole industry in this area. It's like everybody knows everybody. They kind of help each other out. And so and they appreciate everybody's wines, which is really cool. So
it's the most non-competitive, competitive industry. Well, I have to say that because special little plug for us, our winemaker, Jack Jacobs, is up at the San Francisco Chronicle judging again this year.
Oh, fun.
Oh, awesome.
That is great. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that's an honor.
So
it is. Yeah.
It's great. So, and as you're driving around Edna Valley, because that's the one thing from Pismo Beach, like you said, it's right over,
drops you right into
you are
into heaven.
Yes, exactly. You can get, if you get to that light at 227, if you go to the right, you're going to hit Claiborne and Churchill.
Yep. Sexton's to the left.
Yep. Sexton's to the left. And then you'll hit Biddle Ranch. You'll hit Edna Valley. You'll hit Sausalito. And then you can go up to Bayliana. Is Kinsey up in there too by Bayliana?
No, Kinsey's the other way towards Claiborne. And then
okay.
Right, left.
Oh, that's right. Up in that range.
Yeah.
And all of
Right.
And all of the wineries in Avila, Arroyo Grande, and Avila or Edna Valley that are a part of Slow Coast Wine are in the process of updating all of their hours as we speak. So if you go to slowcoastwine.com and you click on wineries, it'll give you a listing of all of
like 30 of them.
There's 30 of us, and it'll list all of those wineries with their hours and links to their site, so you can make a reservation or
perfect.
Whatever it is that they're requiring or requesting.
Perfect. Well, that is wonderful. Holly, is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
I think that's everything I've got for you guys today.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, this has been awesome.
Great. And Trish, thank you.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah, the veil has been lifted. Let's go out and have fun.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, a little bit. Yes. We have to get to that next year, then we can really have fun.
Yes, so we can most definitely do that. So just a couple of little, before we close, we always like to make sure that you are aware of Sunday morning at 8 a.m. You will find Lisa down at the Pier Plaza for our Sunday morning beach cleanup. It is a great way to start your Sunday morning by making our streets and our beaches beautiful. Yes. She has everything that you could need. She's got masks and gloves and bags and pickers. And we have a great little team that goes out there, rain or shine. So if you're not doing anything Sunday morning at 8, go join Lisa down at the Pier Plaza for some fun, exciting.
It is.
It is. You just went this last weekend.
I dragged my 13-year-old out there kicking and screaming. And then when she got out, when she was out there, she was super happy. And of course. And the amount of people that come up to you and say, thank you. It's just like, you literally like, oh, don't thank me. We all should be doing this, but it just feels good. So,
and I do that when my goddaughter comes to visit from the Valley area.
Yeah.
She's like, on Saturday night, are we getting up to? Yes, we are. Yeah. So I always drive.
And once you're up, it's so beautiful out. Yeah. Like you're like, why don't I do this more often? Right. So
and then when you're done, they go till about 9:30, and then go get breakfast.
That's what we did.
Great downtown restaurants. Yes. So, well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Shelley, thank you.
This was fun.
It was always fun.
I mean, there's wine.
Yes,
Hi.
Yes. So, and thank you all for joining us, and we will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.